Well, hello, and welcome to the Apex Legends firing range, where I'm gonna do some dumb movement tech and shoot some dumb bots and talk to you for like probably 5 minutes. But today I wanted to have you ask yourself a very important question, and that's why are you even trying? And I guess that's like sort of assuming that you're trying to do something, that you're trying to achieve some big goal or something like that. But, however, if you're doing this for like a surface level vain reason, like money, fame, or clout, man, the chances of you succeeding just like go through the floor. Especially someplace like the creativity realm, like creating these videos. If you don't have a passion for it, it's going to be super easy to tell, and it's going to come across as bland, uninspired, and boring. So I guess then we have to ask ourselves, what is passion? And that's kind of a weird question. I think it might actually vary person on person. But for me, I would say a good place to start is just anything you feel like a super intense emotional bond with. And then I guess you get to asking yourself, how do you find your passion? And that's probably the hardest question of all. I think this could probably take years, but I think a good first step would be to start asking the people around you. Because, like, for me, self reflection, I'm not very good at it. I don't really know, like, kind of like what I like or how I am. I always love to get, like, people's opinions about me because they always give me some weird insight that I could have never thought about. But yes, I would start there. I would start asking the people around you because the people around you, they actually pay more attention to you than you think they do. And they're going to notice when you're talking about a certain topic if like you sort of perk up, you get all excited, you start talking loud and fast. And then another area I would go to is start reflecting on your childhood interests. Because the adult world kind of snuffs this out of you a little bit, right? It starts taking time away. You got to get a job, you got to pay the bills, you got to do whatever. And even just having to take life more seriously kind of puts your childish side of you away. But yeah, reflect on your childhood interests. Think what you did as a kid and that you just loved to do without having a real reason to do it. And maybe see if you could start following that. Another question I would ask yourself is not what do you want to do, like what is your passion, but who do you want to serve, right? Because pretty much anything in life, you're always kind of serving something. Like these videos, I'm trying to serve out entertainment and maybe advice or whatever. And, anything else is just kind of like service. Because pretty much anything you do sort of has like an audience who like maybe you're selling to or whatever. And so like, you don't really want to think, oh, I want to sell these people this fitness program, but more like I want to provide these people a service of a good fitness program so they can change their life. And then if you start from that little area of like, I want to help young men or whatever, then you're going to know where to go to. It's a lot easier to find your passion when you ask yourself that question instead. And if your main interest in life right now is finding out what your true passion is, you got to stop spending your time on dumb stuff like maybe TV or video games or whatever. And you really got to start experimenting on things because you might surprise yourself just trying out a certain thing and seeing if how you feel about it when you actually do it. Because for me, I think it's crazy how a lot of like jobs and stuff like that, like you never really know what someone's doing until you sit there and do it with them for like 8 hours a day or whatever. You do not know all the little details about whatever. And that's why I love asking people about their jobs because there's so many little details that you never think about in people's lives until you're actually in them. So again, just try things out because you never really know how you're going to feel about it until you do it. And then it's also very possible for your passion to change and even like your passion level to change about something depending on what stage of life you're in, your season of your life, how old you are, because everything and everyone evolves over time. And I think if your passion level is extremely low, and or maybe it was high at one time and it just became low, because at work, like I used to really be passionate about like eventually owning my own restaurant. And to be honest, eventually that kind of faded out. And now I'm chasing a new passion of mine. So I think if your passion level has hit like super low mediocre levels, I think you should give it some time and wait it out because I did too. But I think it's also important for you to move on and try and find something else if you know for a fact that your mediocre passion level is like hitting you hard. Because like when it comes to these videos, like if I think about it and I can imagine just like helping one person and seeing like a change in someone's life and them just getting some kind of value out of me and then maybe even just having them smile at some dumb thing I said and just making them laugh and brightening up their day for a few seconds. Like that brings literal tears to my eyes thinking about that. And if you really don't have that kind of passion in something and you're trying to chase something big, you're not going to be able to achieve it for sure. Like my last video, I got 70 views and man, I was so hype about that. And that's like crazy. But like if you're chasing this stuff for the money, then them 70 views are just going to disappoint you. And when you find your passion, it does not feel like work, man. When I'm editing these videos or talking through it, it's just really like fun. I'm just truly having fun doing this. And if you're doing it for the money, man, it's going to feel like work. And it does not feel like work to me. Also, if you have no passion in what you're chasing, you're going to be burnt out, like I was saying, like I was kind of hitting at a second ago. And look at it this way. It's so easy to tell if someone is being like extremely genuine about a subject or if they're being extremely fake. You know, people in the middle are kind of like, you might not be too sure. But if you're being extremely genuine or extremely fake, it is so easy to tell about a person. Like the best salesmen, they're good at selling what they sell because they believe in the product. So it's not really that hard for them to sell it. It's kind of like the same thing with passion. If you're passionate about your work, you're going to be able to do good work. However, I also think you should do good work even if you're not passionate about it. Like if you're at your job, I think you should really be giving it your all because like you never really know who's looking at you. Giving it your all in basically every area in your life can lead to great opportunities. And I think it just makes you a better, genuine person overall. And you're able to like build up a sense of good work and a sense of like trying your hardest at pretty much anything. So then we get into money. Like, yes, of course you need money. And again, it's really easy to tell if you're only in it for the money. Pretty much the best counter argument for all this stuff I'm saying and what I'm arguing is Cal Newport's book, So Good They Can't Ignore You. In that book, he basically says that you should not follow your passion and instead you should do what you're good at, and then eventually you become so good that it becomes your passion, right? Your passion becomes helping people because you're so good at it, and it basically is like a little cycle. I think he brings up a good point that if you're doing what you're good at, you are going to love it because you're going to get satisfaction from providing good work. But I think you should do both because you can have that same thing right there, but you will also have your passion project on the side. And believe me, you will find and have energy for your passion work no matter what because you're so passionate and emotional about it. Your passion project can fulfill you without money. That's what I was saying earlier, man. Those 70 views made me feel great. And trust me, I'm not making money off that. And then another thing to think about is that your passion area could become monetarily viable later. And after all that time you put in, you will have like an advantage over the people who are going to come into the gold rush. Once they see that your little passion area is becoming monetarily viable, they're going to rush in. But you've already been there for years working on it because you just love to do it. And you're going to have a super advantage over these people. Believe it or not, there was a time when YouTube actually had no monetization. And those people who were on the platform doing what they loved, those are the people that are the most successful now. And they're like the top of the charts, you know. And those people were just doing the thing they loved. They were just making videos because they had that passion for it. That's what they wanted to do. And then all of a sudden monetization kicked in and boom, they were already working on it. They already loved doing it. So they already had the skills and they built it up. And they're at the top of the charts because that's what they genuinely wanted to do. And then now you see all these people coming in, all these fake YouTubers, and like you can tell that they're doing it just for the money. And it's like a night and day difference between those OG people who started before the monetization. It's so obvious to tell. So I think that's pretty much it, man. I mean, in conclusion, I think if you're following your passion, man, you're not going to stop unless, of course, like earlier, that passion level drops, which is possible, but you're not going to stop, right? All the roadblocks that people usually have in life with all the things that they're trying to do, they're not going to be roadblocks for you if you have passion. They're actually going to become stepping stones. And as long as that passion level remains high, then your excitement for the stuff that you're doing is never going to fade. I also think a great thing about following your passion is that you're going to inspire other people to do the same thing and like sort of just go out and do what they want because actions speak louder than words. Like if you tell your friend that he should do this and that and whatever, then it's going to help him a little bit, but he may not actually follow through with it. But if he sees you doing it and you're doing it every day and he's there with you, then that's a really big inspiration and a good way to like put him on the right path. Telling your friend that you want to go to the gym every day and that he should come with you is going to have like a mediocre level of success. But if you were to start going to the gym every single day and he sees you going, there's a lot higher of a chance that he's going to come with you and you guys are going to go together. Lastly, I want to say that this stuff takes a lot of time and that's okay. You have enough, man. Whether that be putting time into finding out what your passion is or following through with your passion and trying to make it work. Just look at my first video, for example. There's a ton of late life legends in there who got their start super late in life. But yeah, I guess that's really it. So I really like the way this video sort of came out, right? So usually I either do like a first draft kind of script where I just type out my thoughts in like sentences and then just sort of read that back, or I just like start recording and sort of freestyle speak my mind through a topic. But this time what I did is I just wrote an outline of things and then I just like sort of followed through with the outline, sort of freestyle speaking, but while following the outline. And I think that's a good way of sort of structuring the video while also doing like a freestyle sort of like stream of consciousness kind of thing. Anyway, I'm extremely interested to hear your thoughts on this topic, so let me know below. And maybe if you found some value in me rambling, throw a like on the video and subscribe. I plan on putting out more thought-provoking content on this channel, and I'd love your continued thoughts and input. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me in the firing range, and I'll see you later.